Hello guys, and welcome to another Red Life Studio episode. Please subscribe and give me a like, and share my videos if you're enjoying them. Also, feel free to leave me a comment below. Now let's begin with today's stories.
My ex-wife contacted me out of the blue to tell me the man she cheated with and left me for mistreats her. It told her I'd gaff, and now people are shaming me on my social media. I'm 31 and my ex-wife Claire is 35. We were married 10 years ago, right when I turned 21 and graduated college. We were married 5 years. During my whole marriage, I thought we were happy. I certainly was, anyway. I worked in the IT field and still do. We never got into fights during our marriage and our sex life seemed to be satisfying. A couple of months before I finally caught her with her affair partner, she turned cold to me. Whereas before she had loved to initiate sex and loved having it with me, suddenly we tapered off. Every day turned into once a week, then for the last 2 weeks before I outed her, not at all. I caught her because she had left her phone out and it was still open to a naked selfie that she had sent to a number I didn't know. Although I was crushed, I kept my head on and took photos of her phone with my phone. I saw her message stream with her boyfriend, some guy from the gym that I was paying her bill for. I didn't confront her. The texts told me all I needed to know. They had been screwing while I was at work in my bed. I just kept quiet. Then the following Saturday, when I knew she would be at her supposed double yoga class and that's why I'll be gone 3 hours, I loaded my stuff into my car and left. I had talked to a divorce attorney and I would be fine. I was 25 and didn't have serious money. Her father had passed away and left her like $200K, so she was rolling in dough. I had no claim on that money, nor should I have had one. We had no kids, although she had always claimed we would start having kids when she turned 30. That birthday came and went, but rather than start having kids with me, she decided to just spread her legs for someone else. Although I was the sole income earner, she was in possession of a vast amount of money, by my standards, and also had a college degree and was a schoolteacher for 2 years before we got married. The divorce papers were left on the kitchen table. She of course blew up my phone later with all kinds of apologies and begging and pleading, but I ignored her. A lot of her friends tried to call me and left nasty messages about how I was a coward and never loved her, otherwise how could I ghost her? I ignored all of them. The only person I called was the guy's wife, who promptly dumped him. But I guess it worked out for my ex because she and her boyfriend got married just a few months after the divorce finalized. The only time I ever saw her again was in front of the judge to end our divorce case, where I had to pay 0 alimony and it was a clean break. She never looked at me once, but kept her head down. She brought her boyfriend from the gym and he was flexing, trying to look hard like he was going to fight me. I just shook my head at him and thought he gets what he pays for. I've been on dates since then and have had sex a few times since then, but have never been in a long-term relationship since. This was my own choice. In a lot of ways, I'm not over my relationship with her. I don't love her anymore, but I'm turned off to loving anyone now. I reconnected with some of my friends I had neglected during my marriage since my wife disapproved of me being friends with anyone. Facebook used to be an app one used, but pretty much anyone I care about I already see and converse with face to face or on the phone, so I never use it anymore. Apparently Claire had spun a narrative that I was mentally abusive and that's why she had no choice but to leave me for a fair partner. My parents didn't buy it, and my close associates didn't buy it either. But she tried selling that crap to my boss to get me fired, I guess as revenge against me ruining her boyfriend's marriage. Ironic that she caped for his marriage, when it was his new bachelorhood that helped make a relatively honest woman out of her. I just showed my boss the texts where my ex begged for mercy and forgiveness and admitted she was having an affair and that I was a good husband, etc. He just told me he was sorry, and gave me 2 weeks paid off to rest. Fast forward 6 years. I'm still single and just working in my same field and at same company, but making more money now and I am doing pretty well for myself. My own apartment, I've got savings, I've got a 401k, a car, and am generally happy. I do what I want, when I want, and answer to no one. I suppose I could put a down payment on a house, but I don't need one, and I'm happy where I'm at. But last week my ex started texting me again. I never blocked her number, since there was no need to. She hadn't been trying to contact me anymore since the flurry of old messages a long time ago begging me not to divorce her and telling me the other guy, who she is now married to, didn't mean anything to her blah blah blah. At first her messages were just friendly. Hi OP, it's Claire. Long time no see. How are you? I know I fucked up. Can I call you? Then she tried to call me. At least 10 times. I didn't pick up, and I didn't answer any of her texts either. OP, this is still your number, right? I talked to mutual acquaintance, and he says this is still your number since you replied to him on it. Please talk to me. She then told me how much she missed me and how I was the only man who was ever good to her. Then she started sharing information. OP, affair partner, is such a bastard. He hurts me. I don't know what to do. I made the biggest mistake of my life throwing you away. You were the best thing that ever happened to me. I still ignored her. Then she started naming off different ways that he hurt her. I don't ever want to contact her again, so I texted our mutual acquaintance, a person who had joined in on calling me a coward years ago but with whom I still have some contact because I know his family, and told him what Claire told me, and asked him to get into contact with the proper authorities if what she's saying is true, because I don't give a motherfucking shit about Claire anymore, and I don't care if she starved to death in the street or died, but maybe her friends care. I actually used those words. Looking back, it's obvious I do care if I bothered to try to send such a hateful message through an intermediary, but I didn't want to get involved otherwise. I also think Claire is trying to manipulate the former nice guy I used to be. The old me would have rushed to her rescue and be a shoulder to cry on. Not anymore. The acquaintance told me I was an evil person and a monster and blah blah blah. I told him to fuck himself and blocked him. For the first time in forever I logged into Facebook. As expected, no one that I used to think of as a friend had ever tried to message me to comfort me or help me back when I was first getting cheated on and divorced. I had gotten a lot of support from my family and actual friends and coworkers who had since become outside friends. Tons of people who were her friends had been sending me messages now, telling me they were right to support her because I was abandoning her in her time of need. Like seriously, WTF? What am I supposed to do? I'm her ex-husband and someone she cheated on. They know about the alleged misconduct on the man's part, so as her friends, what are they doing about it? I'm just some guy she used to know, and who she hurt. I kept on getting the abuse. I screen captured all the texts she had sent me recently as well as years ago. My number never changed, and I never delete anything, and have decided to stop taking high roads on social media and just blast all their feeds with her texts where she begged me to take her back and she admitted to cheating on me. Finally they left me alone. Now she is still texting me complaining about what I said to the mutual acquaintance and accusing me of never loving her and that I was an evil person. I never replied to her. I feel good about what I did, and in my own sick way, I feel like I have closure. If you enjoy this type of content and would like to see more of it and support the channel, feel free to subscribe and turn on notifications.